What's up, guys? Welcome to session 67. How are you, Mr. T?
Welcome, I'm great, man. How about you?
I'm fine. Welcome. Okay, so last session we talked about the questions in simple present, how to make questions with do and does, and also information questions, what, who, when, how often, and where. If you didn't watch that video, go back to session 66 and watch it, please. It's a very important grammar. Today we want to answer these 8 questions here about this grammar. So please watch this video until the end. I'm sure it will be very useful for you guys. Okay, let's get started. We start with number 1. I read A, Mr. T, you read B. I eat out once a week. Number 1.
Really? Where do you go?
I go to a restaurant near my house. Let's go to number 2. Again, I read A, you read B. I go to the movies on Friday nights.
Yeah, who do you go out with?
Go out with, yes. Who do you go out with, okay? I go out with some friends from work. So the good question here, because they say I go out with friends, is who? Who do you go out with? Let's move on to number 3. I read A. My best friend texts me a lot.
How often does he text you?
Yes, excellent. How often does he text? Or he text you? How often does he text? Okay.
Okay.
He texts me about 20 times a day. So because the answer is 20 times a day, we can say how often, the number of times something happens. So that's why we use how often, because we talk about the number of times that something happens. Okay, let's go to number 4. Again, I read A. My friend goes to the gym every day.
When does she go to the gym?
When does she go to the gym? Okay, let's check the answer. A. She goes in the morning before work. Yes, in the morning before work. So because it talks about the time, we need to use when as an information question. All right. Let's move on to the next part, number 5. Okay, I read A. My parents go out about once a month.
Where do they go out?
Where do they go out? Yes. They go out, they go out to a club or they eat out. Yes, we talk about the location, so where do they go out? Number 6. I read A. I have a lot of free time before class.
Where do you go in your free time?
Where do you go in your free time? Yes, or what do you do? Where do you go? Yes, both of them are right. Where do you go? Or maybe you can say, what do you do? What do you do in your free time? Both of them are right.
Okay.
Yeah, let me erase this. Where do you go in your free time, or where do you go? A. I go to a cafe and read. Number 7. My sister plays sports twice a week.
When does she
When does
play?
Okay, look at the answer. Soccer and tennis. It doesn't talk about the time.
What?
What does she play? Yes.
What does she play?
What does she play, or what sport does she play? Both of them are right. What does she play, or what sport? Soccer and tennis. Last one, number 8. I go out on Thursday nights.
Who do you go out with?
Who do you go out with? My sister, we go to our favorite cafe. Yes, because the answer is my sister, we can use who do you go out with. All right. Thank you. Now in the next part, let me just zoom out. These are the answers. Make sure to check them and compare these answers with your own answers. I hope they are right. In this time, we want to practice the conversations again with Mr. T. And we want to replace these underlined words and use our own information to complete the sentences. I do number one. Okay. I eat out once a week. I I climb a mountain once a week.
Really? Where do you go? Or
I go
when do you go?
to
When do you go?
what? When do you go? Okay. I climb a mountain in the on the weekends usually. It's on the
Morning?
weekend. No, in the afternoon.
Okay.
Okay. Number two. Your turn. Please start. I ask you the question.
I exercise on Fridays night. Friday nights.
Yeah. Who do you exercise with?
I am alone.
Okay. Yes, I am alone. You can say I exercise alone if you exercise alone or do something alone, or also you can say I exercise by myself. This is a very nice sentence. I exercise by myself. It means it's just me and no one else.
Okay.
Next.
Your turn.
Yes, my turn. My best friend texts me a lot. So, okay. My mom texts me a lot when I am not at home.
How often does she text?
She texts me about 5 or 6 times a day.
My friends go to university every day.
Really? When do your friends go to the university? In the morning or afternoon?
She goes to university in the morning.
Okay. Thank you.
Number 5.
Number five, yes. Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
My parents, my parents go out about once a month. Well, my parents visit relatives about once a month.
Where do they visit?
Yes. Well, they visit uh, relatives in the garden or maybe in their house.
Okay. I have a lot of free time after work.
Really? What do you do or where do you go?
I check my cell phone and play game.
All right. Number seven. My sister plays sports once in a while.
Really? What does she play?
She does yoga.
Yoga. I go out on Friday nights.
Who do you go out with?
My friends, we hang out.
That's nice. Okay, thank you. There's a common error here. Before we finish this episode, please look at this chart. It's a common error. It says don't forget to add do or does before the subject. So don't say where she goes. Where does she go? Don't forget to use does in the questions. Now before we finish the video, I want to choose a question and ask you guys. Please read it and answer in the comment section. We will check it later. Okay, so tell me about this question number 3. Who texts you a lot, and how often do they text? So who is it that texts you a lot? If you have a girlfriend or maybe a friend that texts you a lot, please comment and tell us how often do they text. So let me ask you, Mr. T, who texts you a lot?
My friend,
Okay, and how
20
often do they
or
text?
20 or 30 times in a day.
That's nice. Okay. Very well. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the videos.
Bye
See
bye.
you.